All right. So let's call the meeting to order. First, I want to thank Assistant Director Rob O'Donnell. He's doing both director and assistant director duties for a couple of month period while the executive director is out. So thank you, Rob, for all your efforts. We appreciate it. We do recognize that you're juggling multiple things. We're fine, Chrissy. We're good. We just started second. So we're good. So thank you, Rob, for that. So appreciate your efforts. We know you've got it all on your plate right now. So I would note to the board that the minutes have been distributed from May 21st. I'd ask if there are no comments, changes, suggestions for that. I'd entertain a motion to accept the minutes. Mike, thank you. Second, Christine, thank you. Any further comments or any comments? If not, all in favor say aye. Aye. Yeah, those carry. All right, Chairman's remarks. I think we'll go directly to the assistant director's report. I know there's a number of great activities going on, and you're chomping on the bit to share all about it. So take it away, Rob.
As the chairman stated, I have taken over the role of acting director now that the executive director has gone on maternity leave. In case you were wondering, I did have a conversation with her right last week over the phone. She was doing well, as is her son, and obviously, but she's getting better every day. She said she's enjoying it. She's surprisingly getting decent sleep, which is not the same when we had our first, but she's doing well. She wanted me to pass that on to you all. She appreciates those who accept her and she received it.
Great.
As it relates to our projects, the CDBG rehab, our last remaining project, 224 Marion Street, has received a viable offer that's vetted before you today. Tonight, I'm going to really discuss a little bit later. But that will be the final of our CDBG projects.
Great.
As it relates to getting close to the end here on CDBG, all of our invoices have been paid, and the small remaining amount of just over $22,400 being retained at the county as administrative fees is expected with grant, which will be used to offset the intent contribution. Grant has been extended to the end of October, which will allow for the sale, the closing should there be any delays in the closing. And then the last remaining part that I'm aware of is the final APR, which is the performance reports, which we have to complete the project. I will complete it in conjunction with the consultant Paul Nelson. And other than that, once it's completed, I believe that's it. However, I am going to have a call soon in the near future as we get closer to the closing of 224 Marion with our state reps and see so reach out and have a conversation about the last sometime about it. Not that I'm aware of. Since we're at the end,
Great job identifying the virus.
It was this one actually probably went the smoothest of all sailing so far. And because we're at the end, obviously we have a lot of contractors and consultants throughout the term of the CDBG grant. Thank them all, especially Seth, who was really big help in shepherding this since it's our construction manager. Really seeing these records.
And that one was great.
Yeah. Dan Brown, John Wood, so on and so forth. Everybody did the L2 Studios was a really big group out there. As it relates to the city of ARPA and LBI rehab projects, you will know we have 7 properties in our inventory for rehabilitation. 34 Andrews and is continuing. Sunstream is able to finally abate the windows. That was the mastic on the windows. The roof is still being determined every time we schedule the roof. We've unfortunately run into some weather challenges, but we anticipate getting that roof done.
It's either rainy or 100 degrees.
Correct. But we're hoping to get the roof done within the next few weeks. Because the contract is to expire in July, working with Aaron last week, we came up with the timeline as our construction manager, Sheila Neville. We'll be extending the contract in August, actually one enough time. Sorry, at the beginning of August, Friday, August 2nd, extension. I'm waiting for the signing paper back contract change order. It's not going to change the cost. There were a little bit of delays as it relates to the building permits from City Code. They had questions for our architect, and the architect had given some answers. And obviously, trying to schedule the big challenge. But we're overcoming those challenges. I know Aaron did a site visit with us a few weeks back, and I subsequently been back and spent over time. The work that's being done was really well done. So I have all the faith in the world that by that August 2nd, our contract is construction. We get that market. As it relates to 52 Beethoven Street, that contractor, on wood and pre-recorded window is underway. He has his permits from the city of Binghamton and has begun the interior demo work. Last cycle, they were about 50% done with garage, which needed to come down. The structural issues there. And I'm hoping to take a site visit there within the next. To see the progress. LCD Group finished all their abatement to remain harbor properties. And before Jess, before the executive director went out on maternity, we met with our two construction managers, Sheila Neville and Brittany White, and our architectural firms for the other projects, Delta Engineers, Mills Studios. 33 Elm Street and 8 Gray Street, start getting those bid documents together for bids. So we want to start with 33 Elm in the first quarter, mainly because when it's on street, we started, LCD was doing their abatement on that project. They were able to some mold inside the house and had essentially dug all down studs. And they also determined that there was leaking roof, and the roof is currently being tarped. So because it has a tarp on it, I kind of want to get that first, and then we're going to right, and then the other two meters are at least $70 and pushing back to the south side.
What's your time on those, Rob? Roughly, guess.
For the first two?
For the last two.
For the last two, so if we did the first two, sometime this summer, or early fall, I think our thoughts would probably get these ones. The last two, probably later in the fall. Similar to how we did with the 54 variant, but that big year, and then John would start out early this year, December, January. That's probably what we're figuring is.
So design work happens over the summer in those two.
Probably, yeah. Hope is just to keep things rolling, get them moving, and then if we have the design and bid documents ready, then we can just get whenever. Contractors are feel like they're a lot of our contractors are repeat contractors. They start to feel like they're a bit overwhelmed. We want to make sure we get them.
But they've all been abated.
Correct. All of them have been abated. That includes 21 Walnut, which is the last remainder of harbor rehabs. We put together an RFP for redevelopments, sale and redevelopments similar to 3 King Avenue. We're essentially going to issue that one effort. I believe the executive director mentioned at the last meeting that we're planning to do $100,000 developer subsidy for that rehab project, similar to 3 King. However, 3 King, because several years ago, 3 King was $75,000. That's where we thought $100,000 for developer subsidy. Obviously, if there's any board members that have any questions or concerns, please let me know. The chairman know. Something we can figure out. So there is something room within the budget. But we felt like $100,000 is. We've also spoken to potential developers that know that we might go out in the near future. Including some of those that were interested in 3 King last time, and some of them are expressed. So that would get us through the end of what we currently see.
I would just remind the board that if you recall the structure, even actually, at least one of you wasn't here for that one. 3 King was a property, that property, of course. 3 King was not a land bank owned rehabilitation and sale to a homeowner. It was a subsidy to a contractor, a local person who owns those properties, and then under that agreement, they would be required to rent at least one of those units in an affordable way for a period of time, 10 years, 5 years.
I believe it was 10.
Yes.
So most of our other projects is still working. Yes, homeowner is 10 years. So we for 3 King Avenue, the organization did put in a 10-year requirements for load. One, and the individual who won the RFP for 3 King actually rented both units and still rents both units to $100,000.
The idea being that this is sort of a departure from our normal programs, but I think there was a pretty broad agreement within the board at that time, and still, I think that where that property is located, it's probably not necessarily a home ownership situation, a rental situation. May make more sense.
Yeah, I would agree. Then as it relates to the county government and LBF phase 2 demo projects, we have 5 properties. Tax foreclosed that are in the inventory slate for demolition for the partnership with Greater Office Property First Court. We have to get those demolitions last month. The 61 Park Avenue permits. Those bids were due back on June 12th, and when we opened them for construction was the lowest qualified there. They based on some challenges regarding the ad alternates as it relates to condemnation. After talking with Land Bank's legal counsel, it's ultimately been their recommendation that we award the initial base bid of the original 5 Land Bank properties and greater opportunities property, and then we hold on to 61 Park Avenue, and eventually, as part of another round of demolitions later this year or next year, to the 61 Park. So that's what we're recommending. While we're on the subject of 61 Park Avenue, as you were, the legal board is aware, Land Bank did receive one proposal as the issue for the potential sale and redevelopment of property. I believe there was a memo that was sent by the executive director, where we're ultimately recommending that we not accept the proposal. Though the organization is a very large commission, due to some concerns we have, the organization is very infantile. They're not located in the county, which our disposition policy requires a buyer be in the county or a contiguous county or have the property manager in one of those counties. As of late, we were unaware of them having that. Just the moment they don't have one. So our recommendation is that the board not accept it. So we also
had no history whatsoever.
That was the concern, right?
That was one of the major.
There would be required that they have some track record.
There's supposed to be some track record of success. They did not do the property person. I had some questions about how the cost proposal for redevelopment as 61 Park Ave is the worst shape in our opinion. The breaking wasn't the time redevelopment the moment is now, and the cost for the redevelopment, I believe, the breaking avenue somewhere in the range of $300,000. Based on all those concerns, our recommendation.
Quick question. Want to vote on record to reject all bids for this project, because it's this.
We may want to consider that down the road. I don't. Yeah, we probably want to do something like. Not just, but yeah, probably.
And then
We will have to essentially do that as if we demolish many, we're going to vote to demolish it. So maybe that's sort of contiguous type thing. Good purpose, yeah.
as it relates to those round demolitions, we do have the code precedent on the front end, or front and back end. Obviously, like and because we have an LBI fund still available, we can utilize that funds for business before there's roughly 6 members previously. As it relates to the LBI land bank administrative funds, we're continuing driving expenses for year 2, which comes to close in late August. Submitted a disbursement request a few weeks ago for just over $3,000. We actually just received a wire transfer for your bank account. The end of last week, this week, and then for that remainder, there are some funds to cover the assistant director's salary for the August grant time period, and about $10,000 to $12,000. At some point, either in August or the time frame for early September timeframe, there will probably be a renewal for year 3. Third year of the administrative funds, which we're starting to work and building August. As it relates to the phase 2 capital funds, our construction did a phenomenal job with the hotel. All of the expenses have been paid. That project is essentially closed out for now. We have also, because of that, submitted a disbursement request just last week for capping expenses. Just showed up $300,000. So, demolition expenses, the environmental oversight, all the ARPA, asbestos, all of those pre-development expenses for those are all included this month. So since the first disbursement for since last disbursement for LBI 1 went through pretty smoothly in about a week and a half, we anticipate later this week or next week. We've also invoiced the town meeting for $70,000. That's great as part of that project. It's my understanding that there was their communication with HUD. Someone had requested some stormwater runoff documentation from the planning department, which they've subsequently provided to HUD. And as soon as HUD gives them the all clear, then it's my understanding that told no rush to get funds. So, you, there's to help us with. As it relates to small business typically waiver program, the only application so far this year, which was approved back in April, was the emergency development project for the former spot diner and the community property next door. Last I knew, they still hadn't closed on the property. I'm not sure if that's still the case or not. But as soon as they close on the property and are ready to go, they're ready to issue any and all documentation to get that contract. Any assistance anybody has still in trying to get the word out as it relates to that? Any other local businesses you know of? After $15,000, it has to be a small business and 50,000 or less. Other than that, we have available funds on the tried for some of our previous contractors. You know, as well. I had some conversation with First General who did the project during some union. Right now, they're not aware of anything else anybody has done the like, but if you guys were with
You want to follow up with the impact about actually going the, the zoning and planning with all those 30 zoning officers that there.
Yeah, it was something we talked about
Maybe now.
meeting or two ago. Yeah, it seems like a good thing to do. It may make sense when you have jets back in a little more capacity, but I don't think it can hurt to just ask Nick when they meet.
Yeah.
They might be, who knows if they meet over the summer.
Right, they don't need core that.
actually, Nick said something. You guys actually wanted to do that today. It starts in the first, but it's definitely something you have another.
The county mentioned that fund for municipalities to apply for their project.
Yeah.
They ever thought about taking some of that fund for money demolition? So you have writing some amount of funding. So it's kind of outside of our.
Yeah.
The incentives kind of go hand in hand.
They do, yeah.
You
Good point.
can't cover the whole thing. But
Yeah.
makes it really, the thought might not
I think in some ways, yeah, I think in some ways the county is sort of, as time has gone on, sort of said, oh, here's some funding. Here's a land bank, because frankly, we do demos on a day-to-day basis. It's more likely for us to do that. Right. Right, exactly, yeah, that's a good idea. I'll bring that up.
And for some final administrative and housekeeping items, as it relates to the tax foreclosure process and changes that were made in your state budget this year, we don't anticipate foreclosure lists until early 2025. So that's just something mind that we look for properties. We have the demolition office, priorities, and partner with municipalities, community groups, or other ways. With that said, there have been some several funding opportunities as relates to lead things that were also in this year's budget, future capital and operation hours, and original home program funds. So we're continuing to look for if we can find new challenges or new ways to overcome the challenges of acquiring properties. Are there additional state dollars that we have achieved those goals? We're always looking. As it relates to LBI phase 2, there's a percentage in which we have to spend down in order to reapply for those funds. Actually, the most recent disbursement of us helps push us a long way. More LBI phase 2 grant. I believe we have to do 7%. So our belief is that after the next round of demolitions that you guys approved today, that we believe that plus the environmental of the ARPA rehab scope designs and bid documents will push us across that threshold late this summer of the 70 to 75%.
Jess mentioned before she left on leave that it's a rolling application now,
Yep.
number one, and number two, that I asked a question about really where are we sort of in our completion or our drawn out compared to everybody else. And she said we were in a pretty favorable position as far as the progress we've made with the funds we've received compared to some of the other land banks. So it's not like the money's going to be gone.
Correct. Yes, the first iteration of plan bank initiative for phase 2 capital funds is had a deadline, this one doesn't, it's rolling down to again. There are many banks that understanding have not discussed the percentage that we have our knowledge. So if we feel that we're in a good position as we go forward with the budget, we are future.
When you said breakdown on the benefit of required conference, I recently read an article. I should have given it, the article was on civil forfeiture. So how civil forfeiture play, getting that to the attorney's office, taking that guy's property. I don't know how often that's used in locality, but I wanted the conversation we had with the sheriff. If there's ever some civil forfeiture proceeding for the county, and there's real property that they take, not just cars and, boats and things like that. So, I'm wondering if we could do something that they can partner with us.
We should ask about it.
Conversation.
Yep. Okay.
Our next Land Bank Association meeting is this Thursday. Anticipated by discussion of topics. And then, as you all know, we have now begun live streaming our meetings on Zoom as it relates to meeting the requirement of the New York State Budget of Public Authorities live stream their meetings. We've also worked with IT Craft to help us update the website to add a section for meeting recordings and then watch them if you want, or at least check out the website again. And obviously, just because I'm mentioning it, it's been a while since we discussed the website. All members have bios on the website if you feel like the changes to be made. Been almost a year since we launched the website. So it was not aware of any changes in anybody's bios, but if you do have anything, just feel free to ask. That all that's not, I believe, is the financial statements. The one thing I'll mention, as we've done in the past, because we had a finance committee right before, the actual year-to-date expenses in the financial statements are the same as in the budget amendments. That's all accurate information. As it relates to the overall budget numbers, they are not reflected yet of the finance committee budget. And that's they just obviously once the meeting is over, the board approves those changes, then we'll go back. Budget.
I know we'll hit a couple of budget changes under item number 6. But are there other general questions for the assistant director? Report. Thank you, Rob. Good job. Okay. Then moving on to public and community advisory panel comments. This is time in the meeting where we welcome anybody from the public or the community advisory panel to address the board about land bank related things, topics, for no more than 5 minutes. Anybody interested in addressing the board? Okay. It's good to go. So we'll close the public and community advisory panel comment section of the agenda and move on to new business. We have before us an item to approve proposed amendments to the 2024 budget. My understanding is that the finance committee prior to this meeting acted with a recommendation to full board to approve those amendments. Mike or Rob, do either of you guys want to say anything about that?
The only thing I would summarize and say
Is we did
Yes.
recommend approval by the full board.
Good. What do we have, Rob?
most of these are related to the additional ARPA funds for the county. So acquisition funds that we received from the state for LBI's as two. There's the funding that for the first word action council we created a couple of months ago, including the redistribution of sale proceeds 33 Lincoln Street with LBI as well, and the funding from Tony, as well as accurately reflecting leftover funds.
This is all good news.
So far, I've got
No one's taking their money back.
no one's taking their money back.
That's good news. Good. Any questions or comments from the board on this proposed amendments to the budget? And we do have a recommendation, a unanimous recommendation from the finance committee. Do we have a motion? Okay, we have a motion to approve the proposed amendments to the 2024 budget from Mike. Do we have a second? Christine, thank you. Any further discussion? If not, if you're in favor, please say aye. Aye. If you're opposed, say nay. The ayes have it. Moving on to number 7, we have a resolution awarding a contract for asbestos demolition project to Gorick Construction. Rob, do you brief the board on this, please?
Yep, as I mentioned before, bids were released go back on June 12th. We received 3 bids, for construction, LCP Group, and Suits Excavating on South Coastal. As it relates to the lump sum bid, which was the recommendation of the council for the board, that will go to the board. Construction is the bid. We'll hold off an alternate for now. And then you'll see that the resolution includes calls for $117,000. That's to include the additional 10% for any potential change orders. Which we got with financial things, storage tank or whatever, something like that, that contractor. Or anything that fall under the whereas 7 days, we usually include that 10%, but only if it's necessary, if not, 6. A little room here for you to come back. Usually the changes are being by tires or other non-tires, or occasionally large trees that have to come down. Usually the ones that separate. Stumps.
On these projects, Rob, so we approve this now, and what's your anticipated timeframe?
So the anticipated timeframe is to start with the demo is the week of July 15th. So it's probably the week in which we might do sort of precedents. That includes the 8 and 8.5 Cypress, which is with rare opportunities, 18 Broad Street on the northeast side. I'm not familiar exactly what lines are. So you think to this property on Coastal, 1 Windsor, 1 at Work.
That will be the second, third, fourth. That we've done.
I think it'll be the third on it. Technically, we had 2 properties up the road on the Unico. One was a vacant lot, one right next to the demolition site.
Yep.
So I'm aware of that, 1209, and then there was one prior to my site. It was close.
Great. All right. Questions from any board?
May I have your attention, please? Due to staff shortages, the library will be closing at 5 p.m. on Tuesdays and Wednesdays until further notice. We apologize for any inconvenience this may cause.
There's our 1 hour notice, 1 hour warning. Yep. Are there any?
You weren't suggesting you stay around.
No, no. We should stay until the people's businesses can get there. Yes. Are there any questions for the assistant director about this resolutions project? If not, entertain a motion to award contract to Gordon Construction for these demolition. Have a motion. Mike, thank you. What's that? Oh, I'm sorry. What? Yes, first and second. I'm going to need Mike. I'm sorry. Mike and Wendy. Not that order. Mike and Wendy. That order. Yeah, Mike and better. Sorry. I was already on to the next slide.
We keep that.
We do need to be executive. Rob is covering me on that, I think.
Yes.
Yes, thank you. Okay, we now have 2 items that we need to vote on later on the agenda. One is related to sale of 119 Oakville Avenue. One is related to the sale of 224 Marion. But prior to that, we'd like to go into an executive session, discuss the disposition of those 2 properties. So if there is a motion from a board member and a second from a board member to go into executive session, we do anticipate voting on these after executive session, but no other business after that. No worries being anticipated. I don't think this will be that long involved either. So if there is a motion to go into executive session for those to discuss disposition of those 2 properties, that would be great. We have a motion, Mike, and a second. Right, Chris, thank you. Okay. We'll just have you step out. You're welcome to hang out for a few minutes out there, and we'll reopen the doors in a few.
Yeah, like I said, I'm planning to call them like tomorrow after, because I've got my memory of the meeting today to say, hey, just want to get an update. Want to get everything ready. Sure.
They were approached by like state years ago. There's all sorts of issues with that. Yeah.
All right, we're at executive session. We're back live. Is that accurate, Rob?
Correct.
All right. Welcome back. We're back in public session. Thank you for your patience with us. Well, we dealt with a couple of quick matters, and those matters are now before us. Item number 9, we have a resolution authorizing the executive director to execute a sales contract for the sale of 119 Oak Hill Avenue, the Village of Endicott, 62 Glenwood LLC. I think we've covered this before, but Rob, is there anything you want to say about it?
They just sold the 61 LLC. They own a nearby restaurant business, and they also own adjacent property. So it's property back in tax rules. It is a side lot essentially to sales and
Okay, excellent. That's item number 9. What is the sale price, Rob? $9,000. All right, excellent. Any further discussion? If not, entertain a motion as aforementioned. Like the sale. Chris, in second. Mayor, thank you. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor of authorizing the executive director to execute sales contract and sale of 119 Oak Hill Avenue in the Village of Endicott, 62 Glenwood LLC. Signify by saying aye. Aye. Are there any opposed? That carries. All right, item number 10, resolution authorizing the executive director to execute sales contract for the sale of 224 Marion Street, the town of Vestal, to Mindy Barnes. This is the last of our CDBG projects.
correct.
What would you like to brief the board, Rob?
Indeed, her family qualify based on income. They qualify based on house size. We're very happy with the vetting financial process to sell. And we believe this will be another success story for one bank and the final successfully of our CDBG grant.
Great, same questions. I think you have one already. Which qualifies as it relates to the program guidelines.
Yep.
And number 2, working with our partners at SEP, we believe that she's set up for success in a way that she can afford to operate this.
Actually, below our debt to income ratio and below our housing expense. So
Good work.
we believe this will be another success. We wish her and the family all the best.
Excellent. Any questions for the assistant director about this? If not, entertain a motion to authorize the executive director to execute sales contract for the sale of 224 Marion Street in the town of Vestal to Mindy Barnes. Mike, thank you. Do I have a second? Chris, thank you. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? That carries. All right. Any other business that we need to deal with? The old business that has been lingering for some time. When is our next meeting, Rob?
Our next meeting.
Oh,
I do it. Wait, it's July 23rd. July 23rd. Sorry. I was gonna say the 19th. I knew that was wrong. July 23rd.
July 23rd it is. All right. Seeing no further business to come for the board, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn. Mayor, thank you. Do you have a second? Christine, thank you very much. All those in favor of adjourning, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? We're adjourned. Like a competition.
So now it's for a different schedule.
Wait, where's she?